This is my favorite event of the year. 9 years ago, it introduced me to the Grand Avenue Club, its mission, and more importantly, as you're going to find out tonight, it was an introduction to its members, and I've been a board member since. Hopefully you'll have the same experience that I had, and you'll be moved to give your time and your financial assistance to this great organization.
And you know that I'll be at your side.
To those of you who have the opportunity as employers to reach out and provide a temporary employment position. It's a really good deal for an organization. Grand Avenue Club members are enthusiastic and dedicated employees, and they're waiting for the opportunity to enter or re-enter the workforce. They will make your company a better place through their participation.
Grand Avenue Club serves hundreds of fellow citizens throughout Milwaukee County who face the challenges of mental illness. Our mission is to provide people with pre-vocational employment, education, educational housing, cultural and recreational opportunities so that we may live productive lives that are satisfying. Close to 450 people who are members, we all run Grand Avenue Club together. Many of us prepare for paid employment and for school by doing the work that is necessary to run the Grand Avenue Club. This includes maintaining the building, catering the meals, compiling the records, running a lending library, working on financial management, publishing newsletters, and handling the recruitment of new orientees. Many of us have gone on to paid employment in the community. In 2014, Grand Avenue members earned $1.3 million in taxable revenue. Others go on to school. Every semester, we have approximately 50 member students at MATC, UWM, and Literary Services. Grand Avenue Club is a real community, and we are open 365 days a year.
Your side, there's no need to worry to get.
When I think of my childhood, what I remember is that I barely talked to anyone. I just didn't interact much. I never really had much direction. I was always shy and went along with things, rarely thinking about my future. At UWM, I was studying computer science when I started to further isolate. Actually, I hardly left the house, and things got so bad that I stopped going to UWM in 2004 and didn't seek help for years. The main motivation for seeking help is that I didn't want to be a burden to my family. A few years ago, I finally spoke with a psychiatrist who asked me, "Do you think you can work?" He suggested that I come to Grand Avenue Club, but it took me a good 6 months before I made the call. I was so afraid on the phone, it took me another 5 months before I made an appointment for a tour. But working at Foley was a breakthrough for me. I was able to deal with so many people better than I thought. It's not that the symptoms necessarily go away, but that you learn how to deal with them, and they don't define who you are. The symptoms may be there in your life, but they don't have to be overwhelming. Think about it. I went from having a gap of over 10 years in my resume with no work experience to having a resume with a variety of different experiences over a couple years with really good employers. My road has led me to now being in a position to look for independent employment, which is what I'm doing now. For that, I'm amazed and grateful. Thank you.
And you need a friend just to be around. I will comfort you.
I'm very happy and honored to receive this scholarship. I will use the money for my last semester at MATC, Milwaukee Area Technical College, for those of you who might not be from here, which begins in the fall. I'm real proud to tell you that in December of this year, 2015, I will receive an associate's degree in the Administrative Legal Professional Program. And while studying and earning my degree, I acquired a position in the Milwaukee County Courthouse in the law library as a library assistant. And on my job, I am actually going into judges' chambers and taking out jury instructions and putting in new ones, and taking out old statues and putting in new ones and assisting people in their legal research. And it's very, I don't know what the word I can use for it right now. It makes me feel real useful and real helpful because, you know, that's the person that I always wanted to be. The Grand Avenue Club has been very essential in my progression. Prior to becoming a member in 2012, I hadn't worked or done anything productive in over 20 years. I struggled with an addiction and mental health issues that I hadn't addressed. But when I did, and I found the Grand Avenue Club, they showed me a lot of love, a lot of support. I'll never have to lose a job again because of my mental health, you know, and that I could continue to be productive and responsible member of society. So, you know, I just want to say that, you know, anything that anybody does to keep continuing supporting this organization is very well appreciated by somebody like me.
Your side, if you feel like you're alone, and you know where to turn, I'll be at your...
I've been a member of the Grand Avenue Club for like 15 years. It's been great. It's been wonderful for me personally. And what I do, every day I come in and look for housing for my member. I try to find them housing. Anywhere in the city of Milwaukee, I try to find a place to live. I have to make sure that when I locate you a place to live, it's a good place to live. You want to be comfortable, safe, and want to go home and want to be home when it's time to go home. So that's what I do at the club, and I enjoy it. It's a passion of mine, and I'm giving back what the club gave to me. Now, okay. Now, this, I want to also say I'm happy, and I'm feeling good. This award to Eric. He deserves it. Thank you.
We've been involved with the club for an awful lot of years in the housing division. We're proud to say there's a county building, city campus we all moved out of. We're in our own place now in 6th and Walnut, and one of the things we were able to do being in a new location is contract with new providers. So one of the first things that we did was contract with the Grand Avenue Club for all of our maintenance and cleaning services there. I think it may be one of the first government contracts the Grand Avenue Club has, and I'm here to tell you it is without a doubt the best service we've ever had. So when you do this kind of development, this is not easy. I can promise you that. And who is going to be the first person and the first champion from the development community that we call on? And I thank God to this day that Eric was brought to my attention many, many years ago. So the first project that we worked on together was United House. It was the first supportive housing development in all of Milwaukee County. And Eric and all of his leadership team at Cardinal Capital were willing to take the risk to do that very first development. So that was back in, about 2008, 2009. And we've all done over 500 units of supportive housing since then. And I'm here to say that would never happen without Eric Schwenker. We work with an awful lot of partners, an awful lot of developers, and the whole team at Cardinal, but Eric in particular, you can tell he's so driven by this mission and who we serve. It's always a different conversation that we have versus other people that work in housing. It's a true mission for him, and we see it all the time. So he's been, without a doubt, our best partner, and we're going to continue a lot of work with them. Really the best example that we have with our new homeless plan, we had a press event yesterday with the mayor and the county executive at what will be the newest supportive housing development, the Thurgood Marshall Apartments, which goes hand in hand with our chronic homelessness initiative. So this will be for chronically homeless individuals who also have severe alcohol addictions. So we've had this dream for a couple of years, and you can imagine trying to approach developers and real estate folks with this concept, and boy, have I got a deal for you. But as usual, the phone calls to Eric, and so Eric, we've got an idea for you. You might want to sit down. What do you got? Well, here's our concept, and it was immediately, well, of course, whatever you guys need. And it was that quick. So here we are with a $5.5 million new development for this very needy population. That's one of the cornerstones of our new homeless plan. So with all that, I'm ecstatic to be here tonight. I couldn't think of a better person to receive an award like this. And frankly, I think I owe Eric more than anybody for the progress, honestly, that we've made in our division. So with that, Eric, congratulations.
I will comfort you. I will take your hand.
We have extraordinary partners in government, extraordinary partners in for the private business sector, and extraordinary nonprofit partners. And they should make all of you feel proud. There's a remarkable amount of talent in this community. And of course, for me especially, I have extraordinary family partners who put up with the fact that I myself am not as stable as I wish I could be. And that helps a great deal. So the thanks is to all of you and all the people that participated. Second thing I'd like to talk about is really what I see as the core commonality between Grand Avenue Club and Cardinal. And that is what I think we're both trying to do, is focus on the people that are outside looking in. Now in housing, it's a little bit easier than what the Grand Avenue Club does. Grand Avenue Club, in my opinion, goes to just a higher level. And they go to a higher level because of just how personally they are committed to each individual. We would like to emulate that, but we're just housers, and so while we do our best, we don't achieve the level the Grand Avenue Club achieves. I think it just makes me feel very good to see so many of you here tonight, here for what is the most best purpose you could be, which is to honor this wonderful club, and to honor, I think, Rachel and Carl and his members and all the things they've done. And if you know these folks well, you know they've done it quietly. They don't go around tooting their own horn too much. So we need to do that for them.
Through the haste and hurry, I'll be at your side if you feel like you're alone and you know where to.
It's all kinds of people trying to stretch resources and then stretch and bring services along and get everything timed. Housing of this type is not done linearly. We don't do step A and then step B. We say there are 14 different steps. We're going to do them all at the same time, and we'll meet you across the creek in March 2016. I hope you'll get all your stuff done. We'll try to get our stuff done. And by the way, keep communicating with all the other 13 so none of us get out of sync. And then everybody does that kind of on their own way. There's no absolute total direction. For me to make the commitment to do this, which is easy to do because I have tremendous faith in Jim Matthey and his staff. I have tremendous faith in the political leadership of this community and its business leadership. And I believe that no matter where I am or how lost I am, and that's often, that they will be there over on the other side of the creek in April of 2016 or 2017. And remarkably enough, they are. I think that's really pretty extraordinary. Remarkably enough, they are. So let's celebrate what Chris Aberle and Tom Barrett were trying to do, what Hector Colon was trying to do. You have a group of people that I think will make an extraordinary effort, and while they may not absolutely end homelessness, which is one of those things that you charge after forever, and it's just a little bit beyond your reach, they will make an extraordinary contribution. They will get there most of the way, if not all the way, and every person they help will be a person better off. And that's fantastic, and all of you played a part in that, and so thank you for that.
I will comfort you. I will take your hand and I'll pull you through. I will understand.
I first met Debbie 9 years ago when I had a tea at Hillel at UWM, and she was working there. I'm very happy to be presenting this award to you, Debbie, because you're a generous, wonderful person and a very important part of our community. We look forward to seeing you every Wednesday, and we appreciate your skill in facilitating the day-by-day group. Debbie, you're also down to earth, generous, a good listener, and a good friend to so many of us. However, I would not want to leave out something else about you. You're a strong lady who knows what it is to face challenges. You have a very comforting nature, and after I talk to you, I always feel so much better. You are also very accessible to us, and you give wonderful advice to all of us. You also arrange for the members of your synagogue to come to our GAC on Mitzvah Day. We have a good time. It's lots of fun to have lunch with the people who come, play games, and we love learning about your new traditions. We love the handmade scarves and hats from your knitters in your synagogue that you bring to us as gifts at the holidays. And in so many ways, you're a huge support to GAC community. And so, Debbie, it is with my great pleasure to give you this award, which says, thank you, to Debbie Carter Bergson, whose skills and long-term commitment have strengthened our community and evoked our admiration. And Debbie, we love and appreciate you. You have become a dear friend to both me at GAC and outside the club.
Your side, there's no need to.
It seems it's totally very touching to receive this award from Debbie, who, as she explained, was working with us in her transitional employment, helping us in the office, and she braved some cold, long walks and bus rides on very cold days to get to work, but she came. She came with a smile. Debbie took great pride in her work. She would talk to us about her amazing Grand Avenue Clubhouse community and how much caring she felt from the community. At times, two staff people, Nikki and Carol, would come with her and work side by side. So I've been involved, I've known Rachel since I moved to Milwaukee, and through Tikkun Yair and through our synagogue, I was involved a little bit with Grand Avenue Club. But I was finishing up a certificate in marriage and family therapy, and I needed a few more hours for my license. And at that point, I called Rachel and I said, can I volunteer just a little bit in a group or something? And she said, sure. And that started about 3 years ago. And I've been very, very fortunate. Part of what I do is also to be in the culinary unit, which is an amazing place because truly the members cook under Susie Katz's amazing direction, and Susie serves with great love and an amazing artistic eye, and she makes, I always think, something out of almost nothing, but does it with a great deal of love. This really is an amazing community where every member is valued and works for a common goal, as you've heard. 2 weeks ago, someone said to me that this is a place where I feel safe, and that is not easy to find, especially 365 days a year. That speaks also to the importance of the work the Cardinal Capital does in providing safe housing.